My name's Kortney. I'm the senior herpetology keeper here at the Virginia Living Museum. Thank you all so much for joining us live today. I'm going to be telling you a little bit about our spotted turtles that you were just seeing. We're going to talk about these guys for a few seconds, and then we're actually going to take a little sneak peek behind the scenes and see some guys that we have in the back. So these are our spotted turtles. They are one of the smaller species of turtles that we have here at the Virginia Living Museum. And this turtle that you're seeing now, though he's a little hidden in the back there, he is full grown. So that is our male spotted turtle. These guys only get about 4 to 5 inches total length. So if you ever see a tiny little turtle out in the water that's completely black shell with little yellow spots on its back, that's the only thing it can be. They're not really confused for any other turtles. And they're really, really cool animals. They have this bright orange patterning on the rest of their body, and sometimes can even have these bright orange eyes, which are really stunning. These guys have, I wanted to hide from you. So these guys have variable patterns on their back. So you can kind of see their little yellow spots there. And each turtle is individually different, so it's kind of like a fingerprint. And these guys are, well, we don't really know if they're very common in most of their range because they're kind of hard to come by, and there's not a lot of information known about them. They are actually listed as endangered on the IUCN Red List because there's not a lot known about the populations, and because they actually lose some of their habitat due to human activity. And roads and things. So, having a little technical difficulty, sorry. Let's switch that back right there. There we go. So these guys are technically listed as endangered. So we are actually part of what's called a species survival plan, or an SSP, for this species. Across most AZA facilities that have these guys that participate in this type of program. So what we're actually going to do now is show you some of the behind the scenes area where we have some other spotted turtles. So if you want to walk this way, we're going to go back into the service area. Here we go. So this area is behind some of our exhibits on the upper level in the James River area that you're probably familiar with if you've visited the museum. In this space we have one of our female spotted turtles who is incubating some eggs currently. So she's set up back here to be a little lower stress area because she is currently holding eggs. So we give her this quiet space, and you'll actually see that she has a water area to live in and also a land area. So if you spin around that direction, you can see that she's got some nice soil area with lots of heat coming from above. So she's going to be hopefully laying some eggs. So spotted turtles, because they're so small, they can only lay a couple of eggs at a time that can fit in their tiny bodies. So typically the clutch size is between 2 and 4 eggs, 5 max, because they're just so tiny. The turtle itself, as you can see, is really small. It's only about 5 inches, and the egg itself is probably close to 1.5 inches long. So the eggs are quite large. I actually have here a recent x-ray of our girl here. If you can, I don't know if you can see this. That's the x-ray of this girl here. You can see her body and that giant egg inside of her. So we're hoping that she lays that, and then hopefully we'll be able to successfully incubate that egg and get a baby turtle out of it.
Okay, we got a question. How many types of sea turtles are there?
That's actually a better question for you. Can you answer that question?
Yeah, well, there's the loggerhead sea turtle, green. It depends on whether we're talking about Virginia natives or sea turtles in general. We have hawksbill, green, leatherback, Kemp Ridley. Most of them are actually all the sea turtle species are endangered. So, but these guys are not sea turtles, right? This is freshwater?
That is correct. Yep, these are freshwater turtles. And most of them, or all of the turtles that you see here at the Virginia Living Museum right now are freshwater turtles, with the exception of the diamondback terrapin, who is a special one that can kind of go back and forth between freshwater and saltwater. So we have kind of another little surprise for you guys. We had a successful hatched egg last fall. So we had a baby spotted turtle hatch out in September. So we're actually going to do a feeding demonstration with this little guy. So if you follow me around right over here, see if we can get him to come up and eat for us. So this guy was hatched last September. So he's just over 6 months old now. And he is, let me see where he's at here. He's probably hiding. He's down here in the bottom. Hi, buddy. Come on out. So let me see if I can show him to you first. So this is our little baby spotted turtle. So you notice that he's got very symmetrical spots, if you can see them. Oops, sorry, buddy. The lighting's not very great back here. So when they're born, they actually have one spot per segment of their plastron, which is the upper shell. And then as they get older, they change their spots and kind of get more spots and in different places, and their pattern changes. So I'm gonna try to feed this little guy. So what I'm gonna feed him today are just some tiny little bits of gel, some reptile gel, which if you've been watching any of the other live posts, you may have seen our aquarium staff feeding that as well. Hey, buddy. It's not his normal feeding time, so he's not really sure what's going on right now. You may not be interested. But so for baby turtles, any baby turtle really, they are extremely vulnerable at this size and at this age. They have lots of predators. Here, buddy. So anything that can get their mouth on a baby turtle would likely make a meal out of them. So things even like birds, mammals, raccoons, opossums, things like that can find them and grab them. Birds will eat a turtle. Even some large fish would make a meal out of this guy. Once they get a little bit older, they do have that shell so they can protect themselves from most smaller predators. But because this species doesn't get very big, they do have a substantial number of predators, things like raccoons and opossums, large birds and things like that. And their nests can be predated by lots of other animals as well.
Brooke Willow has a question. How long until they're full grown?
Well, turtles do grow pretty slowly. And I did forget to mention earlier, most turtles are pretty long-lived. So the turtles that we have, the other adults that you saw were, two of them are 16 and 17 years old, and the other one is about 20 years old. This guy will continue to grow throughout his life. He'll grow pretty slow at first. So it'll maybe take 5 to 10 years for him to get to an actual adult size. Can't remember offhand at what point they reach sexual maturity, but that type of development is usually pretty slow in turtles in general. What else do we got? So yeah, our female will probably eat for me. Let me see if she might want to take a little bite for you. Hi there, girl. There you go. You want a bite? Nope, not today. So like I said, this is not necessarily their normal feeding time, so just not really all that into it right now, but I'll take her out so you can kind of get a closer look at her. So you can see those beautiful yellow spots on her, kind of like like constellations in the night sky. And then you can see that bright orange patterning on her belly and on her skin and her face. Are there any other questions for us? You guys can feel free to chime in with questions at any time. All right, so if there aren't any other questions.
There is one more question from Kate Tay. Is his shell softer right now?
Nope, so turtles are born with harder shells. They are a little bit softer. So just like the bones of a baby need to kind of develop and get harder over time, they are a little softer when they're first born, but they really need to harden up right away because they're very vulnerable. There's no parental care in these turtles, so once he comes out of the egg, he's completely on his own. So he needs to be able to fend for himself and be protected from predators as much as he can. So with that, if there's no other questions, I will kind of wrap it up. So thank you so much for coming out to see us today and meet our spotted turtles. Excuse me. If you want to join us, there she is. If you want to join us again this afternoon, we will be feeding this deer, the male and female deer, out on the trail at 2:30, and that'll be another Facebook Live post with our Birds and Mammals keeper. And be sure to visit us virtually with all of our natural education here on Facebook and also on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. There's some really cool online things on there. And there's always complete updated information on our status here at the museum on our website at thevlm.org. And thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.